Okay. All right. So it is Monday. Wow, August 31st. I really lost September in there. August 31st. So last day of the month, and it's our director meeting. I just jotted down a few things because mainly my job is just to get ready for the meeting tomorrow night. And so that was one thing I wanted to ask. Do you guys have things that you know I should cover? Like, okay, Terry, make sure you cover this kind of thing tomorrow night on the team meeting. Like things that are in your mind, like, oh, what's going on? You know, like, got to make sure we know, let our teams know this. And of course, we need to make sure we get our teams on there, especially our star people. You know, the people who perform, at least get them listening to the recording if they can't be on, because I know some of them do have conflicts, but just try to get them pulled in so that they feel a part of the team, because that's one of those three cultures, you know, is the first thing in impact that they go over is creating the team culture so that they feel like they're part of something bigger than just turning in parties themselves. So
making sure they know about closing the September a hard line close.
Okay, and I think that's in the template, but I had that written down. Oh, yes. So
how to do that for them and how
yeah,
to September 22nd poker parties or whatever.
yeah, like start them early or do a 5-day one, or and you know, so that may mean us checking in with them early enough in the month to say, what's your plan, so that we can not give them a 5-day template, because I don't know that that's our job to make up a whole 5-day template of our own. But if someone does have one, we can share it. You know, if someone does have time, I may have time to come up with it, but that's not something I'm promising. But to people, to at least tell them that they could take the one we have and modify it, you know, squeeze it together and change the days on it. And they would need to know about copying the template first, you know, making a duplicate copy of it and then changing the copy they make. Don't change the original template and then go, oh no, now I only have a 5-day template and I don't have an 8-day. Because I mean, for some people, if they're new, that could be a thing, you know, where they just edit the first one and then go, oh no, now I got to edit it all the way back to being an 8-day again, you know, or whatever. So, so that would be, I will encourage them also to check with their recruiter or director for guidance as it gets closer. If you don't have your game plan firm, you know, if you're kind of still fuzzy, like, well, how do I do that? I mean, Emily Solar and I, Abbott, sorry, talked about how for us as directors, if our September looks good by the end of the week of the 19th, or the week, you know, that ends on the 19th of September, then we may just run that last week of shows that start on the 21st and be like, yeah, I'm not going to run any the week of the 28th. I mean, that's my hope personally, because that still gives you 4 weeks of September shows. If in fact you're doing parties this week, then you can do them the week of the 7th, the 14th, the 21st. That's 4 nice solid weeks of shows. Don't start any on the 28th and then just start October. And there are still 4 good weeks in October to get shows in. So ideally that would be good, but I don't want to ever tell brand new people especially, oh, just take a week off and don't run any that week. I mean, that just, you know, if they've got people that are booking and they're willing to do shows, you know, I always think it's better to tell them that. So that's just my opinion, because I think taking a week off gets misconstrued, or better yet, sometimes when you take a week off, that leads to another week, which leads to another week, you know, so.
I have a host that won't take the week off. I have one scheduled for that day, for that week, and I was like, oh, we can just bump it to October 1st, that first week, and she's like, no, we can just do it early. And she insisted on moving it to start on the Wednesday before.
Wow, that was a host that you had? Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, and let's face it, the September special is kind of cool, you know, it is kind of nice to be able to pick your special that you want. So and it wouldn't be hard to move it to the 22nd, close it on the 29th. The hard part is for us running 2 different parties at the same time. And I tried as best as I could, and I think you guys have all seen my template. Emily Solar, you may not have actually looked through it since I don't think you were using it, but I tried not to make anything day specific as far as saying Wednesday, Tuesday. If I did, I apologize, because otherwise you could take the template that I had and just start it,
Oh, good.
because there have been times where I'm like, what'd you do this weekend for the pre-post? I've had that in there. How did you spend your weekend as the pre-post? Well, if it's starting on the 22nd, the pre-post days are going to be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I tried to leave that out, but you might have to look through and just double check it. And I'll try to do that too. But we could share that template with them, with all your team members who are planning to start one on the 22nd. And, they may not have shows that started on the 21st. But gosh, that's or they could actually start it on Wednesday, the 23rd, and just double up the pre-post and only do 2 days of pre-posting, and then run the 5 days after that. So pre-post on the 23rd and 24th, and then 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th be the 5 days of the actual major bookings, but then they're going to have to close it on the 30th. So the hosts have to know that. And as we know, we have hosts who just aren't real good at closing it right away. And if you think that's bad now, that's the one thing I will give you warning for on direct ship. It's probably the only thing I can think of now that's a drawback on direct ship. Because before it was 2 things. Hosts don't always close, and it was the gift thing. We had to mail everything. So now that they've corrected the gift thing, that we can give them a gift even after they've submitted their order, I think we're good. It's just the host. I mean, I just, who was I? One of you, I think I was on my computer looking at something and I found a host from, I don't know how far back. She hadn't closed. Was that you, Emily?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, I forgot all about her. Because, it was like months. And she hasn't closed her party.
But
And
the good thing is it doesn't affect your sales because their stuff doesn't really count for us anyway, does it?
No. I mean, and it could be a nice bonus if she does, because if she orders stuff, and here's the thing, if it's a $200 party, then it could be extra sales for us because they didn't get that much free. They got their half price item. So anything else will be ordered at a discount. And now it's only a 10% discount, up until they hit the 700 level. Is that right? I think. So, it could be if she orders some stuff, then it could be a little bit of sales, but still, I just forgot. I reached out, for every day for, the Saturday, the Sunday, the Monday, the Tuesday after her party closed, and then a week later, and then another week later, and then another week later, and then, a month later. Well, I'm talking, it's been 6 months now, and she's still never ordered. And so now I'm kind of embarrassed because I forgot, because it just scrolled down, and I have to call her back and say, by the way, you still didn't close your party, and I'm so sorry. It scrolled. I mean, I'll tell her the truth. It scrolled down. Do you want to go ahead and use your half price item now? And if it goes into September, she can actually get a 60% off anything of her choice. And, if I date it September, because I can switch the date of the show. So honestly, they may be happy that they waited. So I'm probably going to wait and call all of them tomorrow, rather than today, and just say, or I guess I could call them today and tell them, you can close it starting tomorrow and you can get 60% off. But that is one of the things on direct ship that you'll have to deal with, is the host can drag their feet because it doesn't affect, you have no leverage anymore. You can't say, well, your people aren't going to get their stuff until you order. Well, they will. So anyway, so be prepared. Okay. Anything else that we need to cover on tomorrow night's call?
I think you might want to bring up that new Facebook is going to be changing sometime in September.
Yes.
Just give people a heads up if they haven't already done that.
And I have a question. Are there some people who don't have access to it yet? Like if they go to look for it, it's not there?
I think I heard that on some group or something, like when they
Okay.
went up to the top right corner to try to switch it, they're like, wasn't an option.
Yeah, because Tina Garland, so Tina, if you're listening to this, this is for you. She and I went back and forth screenshotting what she was seeing, what I was seeing, and as far as we can tell, it was not there for her to switch to yet. So, yeah. So my big fear is, what if it switches and you're in the middle of parties? I would assume the parties will still be there. They wouldn't go away, right, Emily? Solar, I mean, I don't know if you switched right in the middle of two shows going on, though, did you? Or did you just switch on a weekend when, do you remember now?
I mean, mine automatically switched for me, and I just like went with it. Yeah, but it was a long time ago.
I would have freaked out if that, but you guys know me well enough.
I switched mine last Thursday and set up like the next week's party on it, and I still had a party going, and it didn't affect anything.
Okay, it just looked different when you went to do the post. Okay, all right, so nobody's going to get hurt by it, but we might want to say do it sooner than later if you can. Okay.
Just be prepared for it.
Okay. And it's really not that hard. I mean, I'm already almost used to it. I set up the 4 shows I'm doing this week, and kind of took a little longer doing it because I had to think, now where was that? But it's only 2 or 3 things maybe that are a little bit in a different place, but otherwise it does look cleaner. I will say it looks, I don't know, just bolder and cleaner to me, a lot less messiness on there, but I can get that when I expand my page and only look at what I want to look at too. But that's because I have bad eyes and I do that sometimes. Okay. All right. Anything else that we want to make sure our teams hear about? And hopefully, if they listen to the recording, they heard it when we did our 3rd Tuesday of the month call, because we covered a lot of it then, but not everybody gets on and not everybody listens. We know that for certain. So, and as leaders, get into the habit of, in a nice way, saying, oh, I wish you'd been on the call. We covered that. Let me tell you what I can remember. So instead of, well, if you'd been on the call, you'd know this. I mean, I know you guys aren't going to ever say it that way, but sometimes you feel like it maybe, but I do remember, as back in the past when we had live meetings, people would come to the meetings, and then others would call, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't be there last night. What'd you guys go over? And I'd be like,
a lot.
a lot. Yeah. Because a part of me would be like, I planned it and I presented it once and all those other people made it. And, and there were times where someone did have a legitimate complaint, reason that they couldn't come, but that gets to be very hard. And now with Zoom and recordings, I think it's even more so, in a nice way, point them back to the recording. Say, hey, I think I could remember a lot of it, but listen to the recording first, and then let me know if you still have questions about that, because, we went over it in the recording, and I just don't want to, miss anything, because a lot of times people add stuff and clarify things, and if you listen to the recording, it might be a better way of getting the info than me trying to remember and repeat it all to you now. So just be ready for that and be ready to turn them back to the recording, so that then hopefully, I don't like listening to recordings simply because I feel like it just adds more to my to-do list. So I like to be on live when I can, simply because I don't want my to-do list to get any bigger. And if we can get people wanting to be on live so they can get it first time around, that would be ideal. So, okay. Anything else? I was planning just briefly to mention to them that there are so many different options out there floating around now for different ways to do shows, like the all text party, or the catalog party, the 15-minute party, if they want to just do a 15-minute one, and to check with their director if they need help. So if you guys need help, let me know, and I'll vice versa, because I've got some stored some places, but I haven't looked at them. I've, had people give me one here and there, but I don't even know in my templates what all I've got in there now, but I can definitely look some stuff up and help and, send copies to you guys. And then if you've got something stored somewhere and post my party or whatever, or ScentShare. I think Kalena's using ScentShare now, right? I think.
Have either Emily's done a 15-minute party?
Mm-mm. Somebody on my team did, and she invited me to it, and I saw it, but I have not done one myself.
Who did it on your team?
Sabrina.
Already.
Within 5 days of signing up, I got invited to one, and I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
She started from Dash. I think she. I don't know. I didn't specifically ask her about it yet. But
now they don't have a template on Dash, right? They don't have a template they share or anything like that.
No, I think she just got some tips and stuff and then made it up as she went. She's awesome. It was actually a party where the host really wanted the air fryer, and she was only at 300, only halfway there, and needed to get to the 650 in order to get the air fryer. So when the week was over, she just decided to try the 15-minute party and extend that host party just by doing a 15-minute party, and she got all the way up and got the air fryer.
Wow.
So,
wow. You know what, Emily? Mention that to Valerie, because she asked me, she just randomly sent me a question. She goes, hey, my host wants the air fryer, but she can't get it for 60% off unless she hits 650, right? And I said, yeah, for now. So I don't want Valerie for that host, if she just waited one more day, she could get it tomorrow for 600, so she either should try to get that party up for her, and the 15-minute party might be a great idea, and maybe she could just take some posts or look at Sabrina's. Maybe Sabrina would add her to, or you could add her to Sabrina's now that you're in it. If she wanted to look and just extend it for, just do a real quick, extension. That might be great, because then she could help her host get it, and it would help her with her sales.
Yeah,
and
I thought it was
then
a great idea.
if she doesn't make it,
for just figuring out how to do that, I didn't tell her to
oh my
do that.
gosh, wow, Sabrina will probably be one of our next directors in the org, because she's, holy cow, she wears me out.
She has 8 parties going on right now.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, wow. Don't we all say we want to find that next superstar, Wow.
How many?
Huh?
How many?
8.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've never done that many. And she only signed up. It's not even been a month yet. I think it's maybe been 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But she asked a lot of questions, doesn't she, Emily?
Yes.
But
that's okay, because she's doing so good. So I just.
Yeah. I think her mind runs 24/7. She just
I don't think she
constantly
sleeps.
thinks of questions and stuff. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. And so with Valerie also, and Valerie might listen to this. So Valerie, if you're listening, a thing to do is try to get that host to it today, with maybe the 15-minute party extension, or if by chance it doesn't happen and the 5,000 isn't going to happen, then maybe switch that to a September show. And
I could have all of her guests though.
Oh, that's true. If she's got guests, yep, never mind. Yeah, so.
Maybe we can just suggest the 15-minute party.
There you go. Yeah, let's do that. When we go on direct ship, you don't have to worry about that. So when it's an overlap month, the guest will be based on when they order, and then the host gets to pick which date she wants it to be. So it's really nice. So it's cut and dried, whatever day they order, we might have to put posts in our party for those overlap weeks, just an extra post at the beginning, if here are the 2 monthly specials, depending on which one you like best, order before, order after, so. Okay. All right. So try to get your recognition page to me. I think it'll be easier if I have them all, or did we decide you guys just want to bring it up with a screen share? What do you think?
I thought we were sending them to you.
That's what I was thinking. I told Tina I would make hers because she works till 6:30 tomorrow, so she's not going to have time to do it. You could probably go through and start it tonight, have everything in it that you need, the people, because pretty much the people are going to stay the same. You may have to add someone at the end if they turn in something and they hadn't turned in anything yet. But you could list your people in the graphic you're going to make and then just change the number if they happen to get more in by tomorrow. And I would go by today's sales report, because the reports and tracking one probably won't update till later in the afternoon, and sometimes even later when it's the beginning of the month. So I go by the real time, the one that's today's sales report. And then we can always just, make a disclaimer at the beginning, and I can do that. We did as best as we could up through this afternoon. We hope we have everything updated. If you see something that's not right, please correct us, which gets them to speak online anyway. And the more they have to do that, the more they'll feel comfortable, and then they may share in a meeting anyway. And Emily, I was thinking for Sabrina, do you think she'd be willing to share a little bit about her 15-minute party if we have time?
I can ask her. I know last time she wasn't able to hop on the meeting because she had a conflict or time. So I was
Right.
planning to reach out to all my people and let them know about the meeting today. I'll see if she can even make it, and then I'll ask if she wants to.
Okay. Well, just ask her that, we may just, we may or may not, but just a quick brief thing, just kind of be prepared. And tell her if it means she won't get on, that then we won't do it to her. But, we don't want her to not get on for that reason because she's too nervous or something. So she doesn't strike me that she would be. So.
I'll let you know today.
Okay. Don't forget the Get the More is also tomorrow night, but it's at 8:30 instead of 8:45. And I will post all that stuff today. I'm going to do a big post today. 3 big things. Don't miss them, because the new consultant call is tonight also for anybody who's a new consultant. Those are always on Mondays, and through the end of December, they will be on Mondays at, I believe it's 8 o'clock, but there might be a couple of them that have to start early. I'm not sure. Becky has it in Imagineers, so I'll try to remember to post week by week. I forgot to post about it completely last week, which makes me think, do we need to share the responsibilities of posting, or if you guys see that I've missed something, it would not hurt my feelings if you posted about it. Because I totally forgot to post about the booking blitz last week, and I totally forgot to post about the new consultant training. So new consultant trainings will always be on Mondays, and that is through the end of the year. I believe the booking blitz is going to stay on Thursdays, as far as I know. And I blanked on Thursday. I didn't even do the check-in call Thursday night. But obviously no one else checked in either, because nobody called me and said, why aren't you on? Which was kind of that's a bummer. So I was kind of sad about that. One had already checked in with me, who normally does, but one had not. And so I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, and Donnell, I know sometimes does on Thursday nights, but I knew we'd already been talking completely anyway, so I wasn't even counting her. So, because I knew she wouldn't be, because we were talking. But what do you think? That was one of the things that came up on the issue chat, was that for the organization page and the reminders, different people took a day, and if there was something that day, you made sure you reminded people about it. Would you guys be willing to do that? Right now, I'll take Tuesdays, because that's the big one, and I'm the one running those, so I don't forget about those. Although, I could, I guess, forget to post about it sometime, but hopefully I won't do that. But I think we have Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays right now. We did have Wednesdays, because Becky was running that season, what was it called? It was SOS.
Summer of Success.
Summer of Success. Why couldn't I ever remember that? But anyway, those are done, because she did those before, right? She did those, I think, the 4 Wednesdays of August. So I would just kind of need someone to be the reminder for Mondays and the reminders for the booking blitzes right now. And then if something else comes up, I can, and if you don't want to, I don't mind doing it, but if you're willing, it would be great just because we know we get it remembered. So does anybody want to, and which one do you know you think you'd remember?
I don't mind doing Mondays.
Okay. Yay.
And that link is in Is She Imagineers?
Yes. Yeah. And I think it stays the same every time because she set up a special one for that. Different people will run it every week, but it will be the same link so that
So
it
I can
didn't.
just copy and paste that link and
Yeah.
post
Yeah.
it to our page. Okay.
Yes. And then the picture that's with it, if you want to just pop that up there so people
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
All right. Would anyone want to take the booking blitz thing on Thursdays?
You give me a few weeks to get in the swing of school, I might take it, but I don't want to do it right now until
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. And I don't mind keeping it. If you guys notice that I have not done it, then, shoot me just a text to say, I haven't seen a reminder for the booking list, because I technically should probably do it on Wednesday. I think if we do it too far ahead, they'll forget anyway. But Wednesday, and then maybe during the day Thursday. Like, post it on Wednesday and then just do a comment in it on Thursday so that it brings it back up to the top again. So,
Yeah,
and especially,
it in mine already anyway.
what's that?
I said I don't mind to do that one. I already posted in mine anyway. My fear is I'll forget because I do forget about 1 week out of every month.
Oh, okay. So like you could post it when you post it in your chat, you'll post it in ours too. Can you do that for now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Stephanie, then when you're back in the swing, we'll find something, I'm sure. All right. Okay, if you guys could do that, that would be great. And then if I haven't seen it, I may just text you and say, hey, were you going to post about it or whatever, if I'm just out and about. I don't know. I think I do so much Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of just my brain being on. Then on Thursdays, I kind of like relax a little bit and kind of tie up loose ends and and I'm just it's not in my radar. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we have people who need bookings. They like, that would be the perfect thing that they need to get on if they are needing a boost for getting bookings. So, okay. For the Get the More You're Looking For, let me know as soon as possible if you have people who are definitely going to be in it or even just potentials. You're thinking, I think they might want to be, but just confirm it. Becky really wants us to stress the 4 or the 8 parties booked by next week when it starts on the 8th. So that gives them plenty of time, but to have,
Not to get more.
the fast track and the Get the More call is for the fast track. So kind of all the same
thing. To
thing.
get the more to see about it tomorrow without having.
Correct. Yeah. So try to get them to get on it, especially if you've got a star who's never been on that call before, or at least get the recording to them if they can't be on the call. Because I think when they are already rocking their business so well, and really that's where they have to have a good, strong personal business. So I've got 2 or 3 who've been in it, and until your personal business gets strong, if you could get lucky, I guess, and have some people that just want to sign up, but you really have to have a lot of bookings to have the number of people who might want to join. They're not, if you only have 1 or 2 parties a week, that's just that many less that you have a pool of people to work from. So just let me know, have them get on that call tomorrow night, 8:30, and then for the rest of the weeks, it will be 8:45 again. And that will be the fast track. Okay. And let's see, the 15th, which would be our 3rd Tuesday of the month, which would be our kind of like our check-in call or whatever. I think I will be on the executive seminar, which used to be in Chicago, and I think it included a spa day. I'm not sure. But anyway, a spa treatment. And since we can't do that, it's all virtual, but I am sure there will probably be cool things that they're going to do because Pampered Chef does it. It's kind of like national conference, but it's the national conference for executive and above. So it starts on the 15th, which it's the 15th, 16th, 17th, and I know it's in the evening on the 15th only. So I'm thinking if it is evening only, the 7 to 8 hour will probably most likely for sure be taken. My guess is it's probably going to be from like, I know I can look up the agenda, but I can't remember where that agenda is. I know it should be easily found at my fingertips, but it's not, so I have to ask around. I even know Becky a couple weeks ago was like, I got to find that. Do you guys know where that is? So it wasn't just me on this one. It was a little less, obvious than other times. Would any of you be willing to lead that call? And you don't have to answer me now, but if not, we could move it to the 22nd because, the month is longer and we do have 5 Tuesdays. However, if we move it to the 22nd, then we already are a little late in helping the people who were going to start parties on the 22nd or 23rd. At the 15th might be the better day to keep it because we can then walk them through what to do next week kind of thing to close up September. So I know that's not good timing for us. And I could even move it to the 14th if we wanted to just say, hey, make a big deal, this month only, our mid-month team time is going to be on a Monday. Please mark your calendars,
I have one that I work for without having an excuse to not get on Tuesday.
Oh, really? Oh, because she could get on Mondays then. Ah, yeah. Do we want to do that? Because I could announce it tomorrow night that it's just going to be on Tuesday this week, or it's going to be on a Monday this month. Do we want to do that, or does someone want to lead it? And I would give you the list. What I do is just have a list of things that have accumulated over the past 2 weeks that I'm like, oh, we better talk to our groups about this. And don't anybody jump at once, but.
I'm a little nervous to lead a whole call.
Okay, I understand that totally. So everybody else feel the same? You guys are like sitting totally still and nobody's even winking. It's like, if I wink, she's going to think that means I want to do it.
Oh, sorry, bad connection. Nobody move.
Tina's not on here. Maybe we'll just make Tina do it. Kalina, I'm sure would want to. She's already told us she doesn't want to, but Tina would possibly do it if I told her to. She'd yell and curse at me the whole time behind the scenes, right, Tina? When you listen to this, you'd be like, I hate you. I can't believe you made me do that. But Tina might do it because she's been in a leadership role all her life. She's led, more meetings than I can probably count. But, or do we want to just say, let's do it on the 14th?
Thinking maybe the 14th.
14th, okay, and that's fine. Also, I'm thinking, based on what happens at the exec seminar on the 15th, 16th, 17th, we might do one the next week anyway, hey, sorry to bombard you with meetings, and there's important stuff that we need to announce. I don't know, because I feel like we've already had a lot of important announcements, but I've never been to one of those, you guys, so I don't know. It might be more stuff that the 21st on that Monday in the morning for our team time, our director call, it's more info that I will get that's for you guys rather than for our whole teams. It might be just more leadership stuff and things that we need to keep in mind to help our teams with. So it might just be stuff I need to siphon out to you guys, not the whole team. So.
Or might just be top secret info that you get.
Oh, I know. And I've only had one little tidbit of top secret info and that killed me, you guys. I really wanted to, it was the air fryer thing. I knew that it was coming back like at the beginning of August. They told everyone. And then the question came up, well, what should we do if it's 200, and I was like, oh, I am sure by the time, somebody, was it you, Stephanie? The catalog, she's like, but the catalog says, yeah. And so I was like, I am sure they are planning on taking care of that in one form or another. I think we probably just need to wait. I forget. I thought quick on my feet because I'm just like, I don't, if they say to keep it a secret, I want to, but boy, that's hard. And Becky cracks me up because sometimes she'll go, I swear I don't know about this. We're like, well, how do we know you? Because, so that means whenever you go, I swear I don't know, that's that you don't know. But when you don't swear that you don't know, you probably do, it's like it becomes this.
Yeah.
But she did say on one call last week, or was it the one you guys were on, she goes, I'm not on that committee anymore. I don't know those things. I think I'm not, one of the calls I was on with her, she's like, I'm no longer on that committee, so I swear I don't know. I was like, okay. So anyway. Okay, and that was all I had, except do we want to keep this time? I know you guys, Stephanie, will you be able to make this time if you're doing it like on your way to work? Or will that be?
Part of it, I won't be able to stay on the whole time.
Okay, because you start at 8:30, you get there at 8:30, right?
Mondays, I usually get there earlier because I have to reset the whole room.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I could be on for a little bit.
Okay. It'd be good if we could move it to Tuesdays, but I'm working at the daycare on Tuesdays for now, so I can't do Tuesday mornings. And is morning still a preference for, because Emily, did you do afternoon kindergarten, right? Okay. Because if it's just 3 of us, I mean, we can definitely still talk about everything and record it, And I mean, there have been times I know with Becky's Issue Chats, I mean, when those started, there were just a few people on and then people come and people go, with the seasons different, everybody's schedules change. I mean, do we want to do it any earlier? Well, I know.
Earlier will not happen for me.
Okay, I know Emily Solar would probably be able to do like 7 because she's up that early and doing stuff, and I can do that if need be. But yeah, I think Aaron and Mandy are wanting me to come over and watch Archie at 6:45 in the mornings till 7:45 till while they exercise. So I can still do 8, but I may not be able to do earlier because I might be with him. So, and I don't want to pass up that opportunity, but it's killing me just saying like, oh, sure, 6:45, I can do that. I feel like I'm back to my teaching days again. Okay, so for now, because Stephanie, that's every day for you, right? That you have to be there that day?
Yeah, Monday's the earliest, but.
Yeah. So Monday's the worst day for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because we could do it on the Friday, and kind of talk about the week to come. We could do that. I kind of did like the idea of Monday back when we set it up because it kind of kicks off the week. It's like, okay, what's coming up this week? What do we need to do? But we could do Friday, if we needed to. So that.
Just start with the guts, real important crap, and then I get off.
Okay, you know what? Instead of, and then if there's anybody if anything we need to talk about individually for people, like what we did at the beginning of this call, then I could stop the recording and do any of that afterwards. Okay. All right. If you're listening to this recording and you have a different preference, let us know too. So Tina, Kalina, Elaine, Mariah, and Valerie, if you guys are listening to this and you want to start getting on these and there is a time that works for you, let us know and we can kind of see if there's another time. For now, we'll leave it at 8 unless I hear that there's enough, and I really hate to switch to evenings just because I know we already have that whole Tuesday evening thing and then we have the booking blitz on the one night and not that we all have to be on those every time. But I just know taking an evening can be hard. Maybe, a lunch hour so that if you've got kids, you get them sitting and eating and then we do, noon or something if we wanted to do that. But that would be hard for you too, right, Stephanie? Because you probably get a half an hour for lunch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
What?
Morning is fine.
Okay. All right. Well, if anybody has a different preference or just I can only do it at this time and I really want to be on the calls, let us know, because if you're wanting to be on them, that's who I want to gear it around. You know, the people who want to be on the calls and show up and, you know, get something from them and kind of take something, which I know is why the 8 o'clock seemed to be a good time on a Monday to just jumpstart the week and get things going. So, and if you can't be on Monday, you at least get the recording early in the week too. So, all right. So for now, we will keep it at that. Get me your recognition. If for some reason you can't, let me know and I will make one for you. Emily, if you can touch base with Valerie to see if she can do hers or if you're doing it for her or whatever, that's fine. And then Kalina, if you're listening, for you and Mariah, let me know. I'll be texting everybody privately as well, just to be sure. I just want to make sure everybody who did something great gets recognized. And, you know, if it all comes down to it, it can be totally verbal and just make a big deal out of it. Because the big thing is we just want them to know that we noticed and that they did a great job and that it's a big deal. Because you guys have all three of you on this call, I know, and I'm trying to think, yeah, everybody who's not on the call has at least a good superstar on their team, at least one or two who really did great stuff. And so reach out to them and say, hey, you're going to get some recognition tomorrow. Try to be on there. That's what got me going to my meetings. I think I've shared that story with you way back, 28 years ago. I didn't go to my meetings because I thought, I know what I'm doing. I don't need all that. And then Becky called and said, hey, you did really good last month. I'm going to be recognizing you. Why don't you come to the meeting so you can get the recognition? And then, the recognition was actually the most uncomfortable part for me because that's just kind of weird for me anyway. But what happened was I listened to all the other stuff that happened at the meeting and I was like, wow, that was really helpful. And I went home from the meeting empowered, like, okay, I have some ideas now and I'm going to try those this week. And, that's what we ultimately want people to get from the meetings. And then the recognition is just kind of the icing on the cake that makes them feel good about all the hard work that they did do. So, all right. Thanks for getting on, you guys. And anybody need me to stay on? I'm going to stop the recording because that's